Yesterday, I sent a 1:10 risk to reward volatility 50s signal in my community, and today we woke up when the take profit was hit. And in this video, I'll be breaking down the whole setup from doing top-down analysis from 24 hours time frame, which is my higher time frame, all the way to my entry time frame, which was my 5-minute time frame. So, as always, I trade supply and demand strategy, and it's the same strategy that I used yesterday to get this set up. So let's get into it. So I'll share my screen so that we can all see, and we'll start with switching to volatility 50s, and this is what we have. So we start by 24 hours doing the top-down analysis, and I'll start by marking this low. We have this low. After that low, price came and gave us this lower high because price was on a bearish trend, as you can see. So after that, price came us and gave us this low. So we had this lower low, lower high, and then finally this lower low or a low because it was the last low. Then from there, our price went up and decided to change structure. And here you can see price change structure at this exactly point. And after that, price gave us a new high there. So after price giving us that high, you can see price came and reacted in our demand zone somewhere there, and we had a very clean buy that went past our previous high. So it gave us a new higher low, giving us a new higher high. So like that, and that is our 24 hours. So after giving us this new higher high, there are some things we can look at this chart. So we have this good fair value gap, and then we have this order block there that it is a very, very valid demand zone. And also, we also have this one that is down there. So we can mark those two demand zones, and maybe even I can name them. So these are the demand zone, and also this one is our 24 hours demand zone, like that. So we'll go straight to 8 hours. So what does our demand zone mean? It means that you expect price to come and react from somewhere here or here. Then we'll continue with our bullish trend, which is in our 24 hours. So going down to 8 hours, 8 hours, nothing much is happening, and our demand zones are there, and we have almost the same structure that we have in the 24 hours. And now we'll try to zoom in the 8 or the 24 hours internal structure using now the 4 hours. So we'll go straight to 4 hours, and this is what is happening in 4 hours. And I want to zoom in this internal structure. So for us, it's like this. So I'll zoom out a bit so that I can be able to see well. And I want us to focus on this structure, the internal structure there. So, and we can start from here. Price gave us this higher low there before it went all the way to give us this new higher high, or that high. So after price giving us this low and this high, price came all the way down and it went past our previous higher low, thus making us to have a change of structure somewhere here. So we had a perfect change of structure, and maybe I can mark it here. Maybe we had a very good change of structure like that. And after having that change of structure, price came all the way to give us this low that you can see here. So after giving us this low that you can see here, so that means after this change of structure, price changed from bullish and now to bearish. And that means that now our volatility 50s 24/8 hours time frame internal structure is now on a bearish trend, but the whole trade, the 24 hours, is on a bullish trend. So after here, I will mark, now that's our low. I will go ahead and mark our lower high, and I guess our lower high will be this one. So we'll select this as our lower high. And why am I selecting this as our lower high? Because price consolidated here, and we only swept where our low is there, and price was consolidating, and it decided to come to give us a new high somewhere there, and it went ahead to break our low, which was here, this one, to give us a new lower low there. You see that? So having that new lower low there, maybe we can say that price reacted maybe to this order block somewhere there, and it reacted there so that it can give us this new lower high. And after giving us the new lower high, price went all the way to give us the new lower low. And now we had this internal structure. You can zoom it, the 4 hours internal structure, this one now. So we will go ahead to zoom the 4 hours internal structure, and I will tend now to mark my, now 4 hours, we've agreed that right now we are on a bearish trend, the internal structure. So on a bearish trend, I want now to mark my zones, and I had marked out this order block here. So I wanted to look out for a point of interest that market would react to it and start maybe reversing from there or start selling from there. And this was my perfect supply zone. Let me name it. So this was my supply zone that I had marked, my 4 hours or my 2 hours supply zone. So I went ahead to refine now my 4 hour supply zone. I used the 1 hour chart, and you can see now the order block is visible perfectly, and I went ahead now to use that one. So you can see my supply zone perfectly placed there, and market at that point was somewhere here. So I had marked this supply zone already like that. So let's save this chart. In case of anything, we'll save it as number 3, or let's say number 32. So save. So after marking my supply zone, I went ahead and I used now I wanted now to zoom in into this internal structure that is here. So I had to use something like 30 or 15 minutes. So let's use the 15 minutes. And now in 15 minutes, you can see that we are now in a bullish trend. And I'll try to mark this as the last, let's say, higher low that I can see. Then we have this new higher high. So after this new higher high, I did use the Fibonacci retracement tool to confirm if this was a true retracement, and I placed my Fibonacci retracement tool there, and I used like that. So yes, you can see it touched my 50% area, and any market that is past your around 23%, there is a perfect retracement, and mine had gone all the way to 50%, and I knew direct that was a perfect retracement. And I wanted to know what made the market to reverse from here, because you have a very good fair value gap here that maybe a lot of people might expect it to be filled. But I came and realized that we have a very, very strong supply and resistance zone somewhere in this area. There, you can see it. Let me place that line so you can see market reacted here sharp, very sharp. Also here, you can see we have some consolidations here. The way market is reacting to this point is not normal. Also, you can see this retracement reacted perfectly on that market, and market continued perfectly. Also, you can see this zone is a crucial zone, and also it stopped that market there. So I marked that support and resistance zone. Maybe I can mark it as my support zone now. So that will be my support zone. And this being my 15 minutes, I had now to go deeper to zoom in now the 15 minutes internal structure. So I went ahead to use now the 5 minutes chart, and this is where I got my entry. So at that point, market was somewhere at this area, at this point. This is the exact point that I'm pointing at. And I came to this internal structure and I did see this low that is somewhere here. We had that low because price here had already changed structure. You can see we had this change of structure here, and after this change of structure, price gave us this low. After giving us that low, price came and gave us that low high, and after price gave us that low high, we had a new low or a new lower low like that. So after having that new lower low, you can see price went all the way back past our previous lower high, and past our previous lower high means we had a clear change of structure. So having a clear change of structure, I'll mark my change of structure like that. We had a new high, and that means that now the 15 minutes internal structure, which is now the 5 minute, had changed its direction from bearish to now bullish. And now I had to look for a demand zone that will make the price to react and then to give me that buy. So I came and I saw we had this order block there, my point. So I marked that as my point of interest. That was my order block. And I went ahead now to use the 2 minutes to refine my order block. So in my 2 minutes chart, let me save that one. So in my 2 minutes chart, let's see where the order block is. So this is my 2 minutes chart, and you can see order block is there. I refined it perfectly like that, and I found my entry. So that one was my perfect demand zone. So demand zone, let me mark it like that. And after having a perfect demand zone like that, I knew market was supposed to react somewhere there and continue with my buy. So where did I place my entry? My entry was exactly at that point. I placed my stop loss just below the low. And after that, I went to target these supply zone. You remember the supply zone we had marked, and price consolidated by finally at night. And I guess at night we had some perfect momentum, and by the time I'm waking up, we had already hit take profit. So that is how I was able to find his setup step by step. So you can see it. So let me zoom it out. You can see the 30 minutes time frame. This is how our setup looks like. Yes. So you can see how we've done a perfect top-down analysis. I didn't want to rush the video, but I've done perfect explanation. So I forgot to take my sell. I was supposed to take more sells here because I was focusing a lot on taking these take profits. So I forgot that I was supposed to take the 4-hour sells, now heading towards our low, which should take us to our 8 hours demand zone or this other demand zone below the first one that we had marked. So that was another sell, but anyway, every day we get new opportunities. So thank you so much, and see you in the next video. So I'll attach all the screenshots here. I sent the signal to my community. After sending the signal, we hit take profit, and you can see the entry. After the entry, you can see how the market was going, and after how the market was going, you can see how the market closed and my take profit too. So thank you so much, and see you in the next video. Remember to work on your strategy so that you can find a perfect edge and execute good trade like this one. So Thank you so much and trade with the best. Always see you in the next video.